Now, California Chrome, Wicked Strong, and Danza are among the favorite horses.
And for more on the favorites and how you can bet on them, let's go to our own in-house racing expert, John Malan.
He is with Potawatomi off-track betting manager Paul Lurenz. John.
I'm 7 out of the last 10.
7 out of 10.
For winners.
Really?
After that, I fall totally apart. I cannot pick a second-place horse. Are you good at second-place horses, Paul?
Well,
for an exact or a trifecta or a superfecta.
And that's the thing. I mean, sometimes when you play those bets, it's like, you know, sometimes even the exact or the trifecta is tough because you got the one winner. So.
Yeah, exactly. And you got 20 horses totally in the race, so you have a lot of horses that could come in second, third, or fourth. But betting the Kentucky Derby, as we have talked, and as you know, of course, is different than just going to, say, to Arlington Park and betting a maiden or a claimer race or even a stakes race there, because these are 2-year-olds that are coming into their 3-year-old campaign, and there's so little we know about them.
Exactly. They're very lightly raced, and they're not racing against each other. Back in the Secretariat days, you know, horses raced against each other. They travel around the country. We've got horses here that are phenomenal, but we've only seen them race in California or New York.
Right, and as you saw on the graphic that was just up there, one of the things you really have to look for in a horse is racing as a 2-year-old. They have to have a 2-year-old campaign. They have to have that pedigree where they already have 2 or 3 2-year-old races under their belt. And rolling up into the Derby, winning those prep races, so important, because you go from 7 furlongs to a mile and a 16th and then a mile and an 1/8.
Exactly, and you know, one of the things that's interesting is the fact that it's kind of we call it the kiss of death, you know, with the Breeders' Cup Juvenile.
Sure.
I don't think there's been one Derby winner that's won the Breeders' Cup Juvenile in the November in their 2-year-old campaign.
Yeah, it's rare. That's a rarity, and that's why they say betting a favorite like California Chrome is tomorrow, and he's such an outstanding favorite. I just want to throw that in there. They don't win either. Favorites are hard to get to in Kentucky Derby.
And that's one of the tough things that I've looked at, because again, like you said, California Chrome, it's going to go for 5 races in a row, 5 wins in a row. You know, when is he going to stop? You know, what's he up against? But you still can't count him out. You got to put him in there.
Because this could be his form. He could be coming into the form where his next Beyer speed figure could be 115, and that would be running the Derby. Let's throw some more betting to help folks out there. When you look at the racing form, when you're looking at a horse to win, he should have won. The horse should have won 4 weeks prior to the Derby. Let's go through just a couple more as we go along. And that mile and an 1/8 prep race is so important, isn't it?
Exactly, because I mean, even though you're looking at this, the Derby's going to be 1.25 miles. It's only an eighth of a mile. That's a lot.
Who's Calvin Burrell on? I forget.
That's what I was going to, because you were going to.
Jockeys.
Well, he's right on Curlin.
Right on Curlin. Okay.
But he's just been put. He actually raced with Right on Curlin his first couple of maiden starts.
Okay.
And then they took him off, and now he's back on.
But he's had 3 Derby wins in like the last 10 years or something like that. It's crazy.
But how has he won? Coming from behind along the rail, so they can shut him out.
Yeah, and many times you do get shut out with a 20-horse field. And again, horses like California Chrome that's had the same jockey on them every race, at least for the last 4 into the prep season, that's very important. And also winning as a 2-year-old, isn't it? If you could win a long race as a 2-year-old, that's very important.
That's really good training for the horse, too. It builds the endurance.
Okay, and you know, I don't know how many folks know, and they saw the graphic, that a Beyer speed figure. Beyer speed figures is a gauge for us handicappers to see how fast the horse runs on certain track conditions. And the average out of all the Kentucky Derbies since they started that is 108. So if you haven't run up to that 3-figure speed figure before the Derby, it's going to be pretty tough to win the Derby.
And exactly, and people are wondering what the Beyers rating is. That's something that's been developed by, his last name was Beyers, but you find that in the daily racing form. So that's where you find that information. All
right, well, great talking to you. And by the way, there's only 7 horses in this 20-horse field that have a 100 Beyer speed figure. So I think one of those 7 wins.
And your pick?
My pick, I love California Chrome, and I know it's a favorite, and it's not traditional, but that horse, I think, is far above most of these horses.
I do like that horse, and it's hard to throw him out, but I also like Wicked Strong, who had a phenomenal Wood Memorial race his last time out. And Wildcat Red...
Wildcat Red would be my second-place horse. Could win the Derby also.
All right.
Very good horse. Back to you guys.
Okay, surprises could be in store. Thank you very much, John and Paul.
We know that you knew weather, John. We did not know
Yeah.
that you were so good at racing.
Weather is just like...
It's your hobby.
It's handicap. No, but it is, you know, it's my hobby. The Derby is what I do for a living.
Okay.
No, it's the same thing. You study a lot. You got a lot of data. You study, and then what do? Make a forecast.
There you and make a fortune
Very
tomorrow,
similar.
John. Go
Okay,
ahead.
thank you, John. Good luck. Well, be sure to check out the Big Derby Party at Potawatomi Casino tomorrow. There's a commemorative glass giveaway, hat contest, and mint julep specials.
It all starts tomorrow morning at Potawatomi Casino. It should be fun.
And don't forget, you can see the 140th running of the Kentucky Derby right here on today's TMJ4. Coverage will begin at 3 p.m.